Yeah, good.
Absolutely incredible. On no fuel. Alrighty guys, so that's it, we're on the water. I'm absolutely stoked that we're out and about, and yeah, how good is this? So the purpose of today's mission is spearfishing and camping, and I'm heading out to an island. I'm going to drop off some gear, and then I'm going to go pick my mate up from the beach. We're going to spear for a bit, and then we're going to head back to camp and hopefully do a nice cook-up. I'm so excited for this. Like, I've waited ages and ages and ages for conditions to be like this. After what, 6-7 weeks of just pretty constant rain and just flooding and all that mud water that came with it, now we're into it. Let's get it. Now this was a beautiful morning send. I cannot believe the conditions riding out. When everything comes together just like this, you can't help but be blown away. The light's amazing, the water looks fantastic. And when you start seeing nature early on, it really is just the most beautiful day. I'd actually come home from a bit of a late one from work and got packed and organised and then headed out. So I hadn't had much sleep, but I was just so excited for the adventure. Headed straight out to the island. We are here, and there's the people that were camping from last night. They're still here, which is understandable. It is only 8:42 now. I'm gonna ask if I can pop my tent up, and hopefully they don't mind, and then yeah, I can get rid of that bag and we'll be laughing. I've unloaded the ski. She's looking a lot better now. The bag's empty, but that's gonna go pick up Andy's stuff. There's the gents up there. And I've kindly agreed to share my campsite with them for the night. They're kind of free camping, but I'm more than happy to let them stay there. I don't think there'll be any trouble, and they just seem like they're on a kayak trip. So why not share the love? And as a payoff, it means they'll also be able to watch over my gear for me. So it's a win-win. Now it's time to head out and go see Andy. I just dragged this puppy back in, and here she is, the naughty girl. Just killed the engine. I just witnessed the craziest thing ever. Like 150-200 meters from me, a whale came up and did a full breach with that sun behind him, so he fully silhouetted. Absolutely incredible, couldn't believe it. 6 meters of water, and there was a whale up on the surface near the breaking rocks. Wonder if he's alright. There he is. Wow, how cool is that? So yeah, he's only, well, this is 8 meters, but back there was 6. That's pretty cool. It's not the best. It's not bad either. Woo! Alright, so Andy's here, but this is a bit swelly and there's rocks and stuff, so we'll walk her out. Yeah, around the other side it's not too bad though. Yeah. How you been?
Mate, how are you?
Yeah, good. Good to see you. Yeah. That didn't go too badly. We've got the ski loaded. Andy's just chucking his wetsuit on, and then we're gonna head out and find some viz. The viz isn't looking too hot at all. After picking up Andy, the mission was very much get straight into the water. We came across this super fishy spot, and it's a spot where I've seen kings before, so why not get down? Andy takes his first dive and shoots a lovely gold spot swordtail. I take my second dive down and see this lovely silver trevally underneath this eagle ray. Now please take extra care if you're making shots on fish under the rays. Make sure it's just a clean shot. You're not going to accidentally shoot the ray. That would just be the worst thing. So only take the shot if you are 100% confident that the shot is going to be placed on the fish and not harm the ray. But these guys are fantastic sashimi, so we're definitely going to plug him. And of course Andy takes his next dive down. I'm on the surface after just coming up from mine. I can see the fish react to Andy, and Andy's stalking and leading in along the bottom. Not quite sure what's going on, but the fish are reactive as hell. I hear the trigger go off and boom, Andy's got a beautiful kingfish on. On this trip he is using my reel gun and he doesn't know how to use the reel. He asked for a second shot, so I'm going to dive down and try my best to put a second shot into the gills whilst the fish was moving like this. The angle, there was no point going for the stone shot, just go for the gills, take as much blood out of that meat as possible and bring the fish up. This will weaken the fish and like that it just drops off. We can celebrate, get stuck into it, and Andy has just landed himself an absolutely solid kingfish. This thing is wicked, absolutely stoked. As you can see, Andy is very chuffed with this kingfish. He's been well overdue a solid kingfish this year. We've had plenty of dives in and we've just kept missing the occasion. Having 2 spears in the fish is a bit painful, but thankfully having a pigtail slip, I can just take my line off and pull it out. We'll do the same with the other one, and just like that, 18 kilos of kingfish on the boat, and Andy's still stoked with his swordtail.
Dude, you've just done 10 minutes of spearfishing. Fuck yeah, bro. That's awesome. Congrats. Second dive. Third dive. Unreal.
So Andy's had an absolute cracker start to the day. He's only done 3 dives and he's plugged himself a solid like 18 kilo king. I come across this kingfish on my next dive down. He's solo, but they're way more wary now that one of them has been taken. But I continue diving around. I'm just going to stay on this same pressure point. You can see there's plenty of bait around, mixed variety of bait. We've got some sharks down on the bottom, some grey nurse sharks, and we've got tons of small trevally, yakka, and even little goodies along the bottom. There's brim, there's black drummer, there's silver drummer, there's blue groper. All of a sudden this massive whale just comes through to check me, and I'd heard that the whale was coming just from its voice. It was so loud. But how's this for an underwater experience? We've been in the water at this stage for probably around 40 minutes and we've already encountered incredible fish, incredible rays, and now this ridiculous humpback whale.
Dude! That was the coolest thing ever! Woo-hoo-hoo! He's coming straight for you! How good is that on anchor? Unreal!
And after the whale, I do take a dive down. The kingfish come in on me and look at them. I get a pretty average shot into this kingfish. I let him run, and unfortunately he changes direction and runs straight towards where the grey nurse sharks were. I then put a fair amount of pressure onto the line, and I know that this thing's either going to get torn apart by sharks or it's going to tear off, and unfortunately I tried keeping it out of the sharks a bit too hard. I should have played the line softer and it just went slack on me, which was devastating. I don't think it got sharked. It could have, because it went straight towards the grey nurses, but yeah, devastated. Anyway, with that I decided to do a couple more dives searching around, but the kingfish are well and truly gone after that. I've absolutely balls this up.
Do you want to get that fish on ice?
With that, I'm really conscious that Andy's kingfish is sat in the footwell, so we make the call to go over to somewhere so that we can fillet it up, so that we can put it into the esky, because it's way too fat to fit in the esky hole. Whilst Andy's prepping the kingfish on the side of the boat, I decide to have a little snorkel around and dive, see if there's anything interesting. There's another grey nurse shark, and in the reef, whilst looking for some greys, I do stumble across this octopus. I do absolutely love them. I'm always conflicted whether or not to take them, and most of the time I leave them be, but I'm going to take this one because I absolutely love octopus. It's one of my favourite things in the ocean, and although I'm conflicted with it, yeah, they're super sustainable, incredibly fast growing,
the pressure on them isn't too huge, and they've got a very short lifespan, so yeah, I don't mind taking them, and they're delicious. Let's not forget the fact that they are absolutely edible, and they're a 10 out of 10 for me, so they're getting eaten. I pulled the guy's hood inside out and then just bit down onto his hood. He was giving me a bit of grief with his tentacles sucking onto my gloves, but we managed to bite down on his brain and kill him instantly. This is the most humane way to kill an octopus. With an almost full esky from Kingfish, Sawtooth, Trevally, and now Oki, we decided to call it and head back. Alright, so we have come in from our day's diving, and yeah, we got quite a nice esky. Andy absolutely smashed it. Third dive of the day, and he smacks himself like an 18 kilo fish. But we've got gold spot, octopus, and a trevally, which is awesome. And we've just set up camp for the night. There's Andy up there. There's the ski beach stairs. And we might just have a little nosy around here. Don't think there's going to be any craze, but just want to get wet before we make the last of the light. And then we're going to do a cook up, and I think we're going to have steak for dinner. Kingfish needs to be on ice for a fair bit because it's a big one. So we're just going to hop in and see what we can find. So we hop in the water, and it's absolutely beautiful views around here. This guy is so cool. There's even a remora on him. Pretty keen to explore what's out, not expecting too much as it's really quite shallow, but you never know, you might come across a nice ghost fish. And there's luderick around and mullet and fish that I'm not really interested in, but I do spot this goatfish, and had he come a bit closer I probably would have taken him. The freezer at home was pretty low on fish, and I haven't had a goatfish ramen in forever, but I don't want to miss the shot and injure a fish, so I don't take it. Oh geez, that is chilly, guys. So we've just got out the water and the sun is still there, but only just. This is what we've got out here. It is absolutely beautiful. Not a bad day's diving. Andy literally completed spearfishing in like 3 dives, which was ridiculous, and got himself that fat kingfish. And then, yeah, I cocked one up. I'm devastated. Not like me at all. So, hurts, but we learn from it, and we're still having a feed. So, Andy shot a flathead, which we've got down here, and we're going to do surf and turf with Andy's flathead. And here's Andy after just retrieving some toilet paper. Now, I've got to admit, I do apologise. We weren't fantastic at filming the cook-up. I hadn't caught up with Andy in ages, and we just got caught up in chatting, fishing talk, and yeah, just general catch-up, which was really cool. But we did put up the drone, and how's this? Grey nurse shark right up in the shallows. We give him Andy's flatty frame, and yeah, just awesome to see, as I've never seen a grey nurse come up that shallow before. And yeah, it was really nice to pop the drone up and check out this awesome space. How beautiful is it? Then as the sun went down, it got really cold, so we called it a night and decided to make a plan for the morning. Alrighty guys, good morning. So we had a pretty good sleep last night. There's a bit of condensation getting around, but Andy didn't have a great sleep. What happened with your mat, Andy? Yeah. Andy's mat deflated, so he had a bad time. He did not have a good night's sleep. And he's a bit of a wuss, and was asleep in a jacket, trackies and socks, and still got cold. But day is beautiful. The yakkers are just getting ready to head off, and this is what we've got. It's going to be like a glass out on the other side, which will be amazing. This is camp, so we're just getting coordinated, packing everything away, and then we'll load up and head out for a day's diving. With that, we load up, lock the guns onto the esky. You'll see the Anchorman dive flag for the Seadoo esky. Right, this thing is absolutely awesome. It's made of carbon fibre, super durable, and yeah, super visible. Absolutely love it. The goggles on, and yeah, we're almost loaded. Andy's just loading up the last of his stuff. We should have enough range to get up do some diving, drop Andy off, maybe Andy gets some fuel, refueler, and then solo send it home. And yeah, should be a good day. Can't wait. Hopefully I get some Kingfish redemption, and it would be nice to see some legal snappers. And what are you targeting today, Andy? Snapper. Snapper or cray, yeah, I'm kind of the same to be honest, but I do want a kingy as well. I want to do a smoke up this weekend, so see what happens. Oh, I'm so glad you could actually drive through it.
Otherwise it'd be dead.
Yeah. As I'm still new to the area, we're still very much finding ground, but I use common sense here to find where I think would be a good area for some snapper. We do some drops down to about 12 to 14 meters. We're initially targeting these snapper in, and we're just hiding on the rocks. You can see a baby Port Jackson shark there, super cute. But not much is happening. We've got a couple of red rock cod here. There's a nice bonito moving around, but he's keeping his distance, and I've only got my little 85, and I'm finding with the Viz being as good as it was and as fishy as it was, I probably should have brought my 115 roller, and we might have had a different story with the Kingfish for myself yesterday. But one of my favourite things about using the 85, super versatile. I've got no problem smacking red rock cod and other reefies with the little 85. Plenty of power, and yeah, nice stone shot for this fish. You want to be really careful with them. They are venomous, but they are delicious. You can see that there's plenty of bait moving around, which is really cool, and there were some bonito getting around, but they just did not want to come in close. I thought if I hid amongst the bait, maybe a kingfish could appear. Wasn't really the right kind of current for them. It was a bit static, but you never know, like anything could happen. Continue moving around, and at this point we really are just covering ground. I do see that there's a 6-spine leather jacket in here, so I depower my gun a fair bit just so that I don't get holed up in the rocks, and I take the shot and we stone the leather jacket. These guys are the best eating leather jacket, and I haven't eaten one in the last 5 years, so it was well worth taking one and refreshing the memory on leather jacket. Not all leather jackets bad, and this one's good size, and why not? To bleed the leather jacket, they've got a really small opening for their gills, and you've literally just got to get your knife in there, and as soon as you do, just start twisting it around and you'll break the gills and bleed the fish. Andy takes himself a nice red rock cod as well, and he didn't even pull the trigger on that one, just gave it a poke. Those fish are really easy to smack. They're kind of ambush predators, so they just sit there. Here we can see some really nice ground, got some really awesome elevations and dips and nice drop-offs even further back, which is creating a beautiful pressure point. I decided to sit on the edge of it just to see if anything's going to come cruising past, and we've got snapper. Now unfortunately this is a Hail Mary of a shot. I'm still getting used to this new gun. I do love it. It is absolutely incredible, but I'm really pushing its boundaries here. And it was after I saw snapper, I really wish that I had my 115. It's insane how much, although it's only an extra 30 centimeters, it makes a hell of a difference when it comes to longer range shot like these. So I'm working this pressure edge and I'm literally just staying down. There's not too many places to hide, but there is this nice ledge system where I can tuck in close. We see this awesome snapper, and this is a hell of a hell range shot on it, and I just miss, and it is so painful. That fish turned just as I shot, and yeah, no bueno, we didn't get him. But I don't give up. I want to continue this. So we go ahead and we take another drop, and I've got a fair bit of breathe up between these dives because of, although I'm editing these videos a bit shorter than what the dives actually are, the dives are anywhere between 1 minute 50 to 2 minutes 15, and yeah, the snapper just are staying out of reach, but I'm editing the clips down because it would be boring to watch for 2 minutes, me just not get a snapper. Unfortunately, had I had my 115 roller, this snapper would get plugged. Like, I'd be more than happy to take the shot on this snapper at this distance with the 115. With the 85 only on a double wrap, yeah, I just don't have the range on it. So unfortunately, we're going to have to get these snapper a fair bit closer, and they are just teasing and teasing and teasing. Although I've got my head up, I've actually got my eyes focusing down, and I'm waiting for intervals to take the shot. Now I rushed this, and we're at a point now where I've never missed this much in my life, and the snapper really start to come in. As you can see in the backdrop there, there's probably 60 to 100 snapper moving through this point. There's some really, really good size ones in there, ones that were probably close to 90, 95 centimeters. The smaller ones definitely stay a lot closer. They're a bit more curious, whereas the older ones are just so much smarter. So I'm just creating some snapping noises. Look at the hump on this guy, and yeah, nah, I don't want to take another miss shot, so I don't take the shot, which is frustrating, but I try one last time. Andy's on the ski, he's ready to go home. It's he's got a big drive ahead of him, so I try on this last dive to get down, hold down, and at this point we're at 1 minute 29. And they just hold distance. It is so frustrating. I'm not even super deep. I just don't have good cover. I mean, if there was some good weed to hide behind here, this would be fantastic. So I go for something a lot easier and just plug a sawtail before we get out and head back. So unfortunately, I am on no fuel. I've got my fuel light come on. I've got 37 kilometers left in the tank, and I've got to do 68 Ks. So the math ain't mathing. It means that Andy has gone to fill up some jerry cans. He'll come back, drop off those jerry cans, I'll fuel up, and then I'm going to have to absolutely send it home solo. And it's still going to probably get dark as I'm coming in through the heads, just because of the way that the time is and everything. It's 2:42 now. I need to punch back to Broughton, pick up my stuff, pack down the tent, pick up my stuff, and then on we go. But yeah, it's been a nice dive. I severely wish that I had my 115 roller. We would have been snapper on for sure, but just trying to plug them with the 85, that's hard work, and unfortunately I couldn't get it done, so a bit disappointed on that. But got a nice gold spark, got a nice red rocky. There's a fat goat getting around as well. Action cam died like halfway through the dive, and I'm pretty sure I need to replace the batteries because of, yeah, it shouldn't have died that early. We'll find out a bit more about it. Alrighty, so Andy's literally just helped fuel me up, and we've dropped him off, so his trip's over, and mine's just about to begin as we fully send it into the ocean, back to Broughton, pick up the gear, and then get in hopefully before the sun goes down. Let's see. Plenty of whales out at the moment, so I need to be vigilant, keep an eye open. But it's absolutely stunning, it's ridiculous. Happy Monday, love it. On the run back, I do come across some northern bluefin busting up, and although it's just me on the ski, I can't pass up the opportunity on trying to score northern bluefin. So when I see the score and the bust up, I quickly slow down, get gear up, load up my gun so I can literally hop in the water, pop this thing and go. And yeah, obviously I haven't left my ski running, but I hop into the water, I swim over to where the bust up was. I'm a bit cautious, there's a fair bit of current and I don't want to get too separated from my jet ski even though I'm in fins, and I just can't see anything. The bust up had died down probably just as I got in the water. The viz isn't great, it's really quite green. I do this 2 more times and don't come onto anything, so I won't bore you with the footage, but yeah, give up and decide to head home. On the head home, the wind and the swell is absolutely perfect. I can send it. I get the jet ski up to around 80 kilometers for the send home, and it is awesome. After going into the chop for the last 2 days, finally I get to take advantage of it and fully send it. The Explorer Pro has been sensational for getting from A to B really quickly and using minimal fuel. I've really enjoyed Naughty Gal on this trip, and I can't wait to do another one. As I come back into the islands to pick up my camping stuff,
how's this little guy coming to check me out?
Awesome little Southern Ray.
Southern Eagle Ray.
I do need to get a strap or something like that for pulling this guy back in. It does suck. It's not too bad if you're pretty strong, but with the esky full and a whole heap of camping gear and fuel on the back, it is pretty heavy. But we get it done. Get her floated. We give her the bob.
Shake. We're going to have to get any sand out of the intake before we take off.
Make sure all of the sand comes out of the ski before we start up the engine, and say one last goodbye to the Ray, and then we head home.
I'm going to hop on the ski. It's time to go home. I'm in love with these. They're amazing. Might look a bit strange, but I feel so cool. And that's what counts. That's what's important.
I'm still absolutely determined to beat the sunlight back to the boat ramp, so let's send it home. This is an unnecessary shortcut, but it's a fun one, so why not absolutely fang it through. We get to almost 50 k's going through here, which is a bit of a false end, but when in Rome. And you can see the weather's coming really nice. It's unfortunate that I've got to go to work tomorrow, otherwise I would have loved to have stayed out for one more day, and it would have been even better if I could have got my hands on my 115, and then I would have gone back to that snapper spot, and I'm sure as hell there would be a beautiful fat snapper in the esky. But I've saved the spot and I've learned a ton of ground, probably covered close to 2.5 kilometers squared in this trip for diving, which was really insightful. We'll take that knowledge onto the next one, but keen to explore some other ground on the next trip as well. As we come in, we've got almost glass off conditions. It is absolutely beautiful.
Now the sun is right in my face, so I'm going to be squinting a fair bit, but I really hope you've enjoyed. Yeah, it was more about just like returning home as safely as possible, like before the sun set, and look, we've fanged it back. Long before dark, like I reckon my clock is out, it's saying that it's 5 and it's 4, so I think that put an extra bit of panic on us. But then also I think we've got like another at least hour of light before it dies down, so yeah.
And with that, we'll call an end to the trip. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm sorry there wasn't much of a cook up and a camp in. I'll be sure to include more on the next one that I do, and I'm definitely planning on going back out here as soon as there's a good weather window for it. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed, please drop a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe. Massively helps with the channel growth. Until next time guys, stay wet, stay fed, catch ya.